Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Jaya Radha Madan Mohan Radha Madan Mohan Radhe, Madan Mohan Radha Madan Mohan Radhe, Jaya Jagannatha Jagannatha, Baladeva Jaya Subhadra Mai, Jaya Jagannatha Jagannatha, Baladeva Jaya Subhadra Mai, Jaya Gauranitai Gauranitai Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Gauranitai Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Nitya Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitya Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Hare Bol, Hare Bol, Hare Bol. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahams Pururkacharya Stottar Sat Shri Shri Srimad His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki ISKCON BBT Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahams Pururkacharya Stottar Sat Shri Shri Srimad His Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswat Goswami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki प्रेम से गौ श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद की श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की व्रजभूमि श्री वृंदावन धाम की मायापुर नवदीप धाम की पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की गंगामाई यमुना माई की भक्ति देवी तुलसी महारानी की समेत गौर भक्तवृंद की all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories, all glories, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatiruttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 2, Daksha curses Lord Shiva, Text 28. Bhava-vrata-dharā ye cha tan samanuvratāḥ pāṣaṇḍinas te bhavantu sac-chāstra-paripanthinaḥ bhava-vrata-dharā ye cha tan samanuvratāḥ pāṣaṇḍinas te bhavantu sac-chāstra-paripanthinaḥ bhava-vrata-dharā ye cha tan samanuvratāḥ pāṣaṇḍinas te bhavantu sac-chāstra-paripanthinaḥ. Word to word meaning, translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Bhava-vrata-dharā, taking a vow to satisfy Lord Shiva. A, who, cha, and. A, who, cha, and. Tan, such principles. Samanuvratāḥ, following. pāṣaṇḍinas, atheists. Te, they. Bhavantu, let them become. sat-śāstra-paripanthinaḥ, diverted from transcendental scriptural injunctions. Translation. One who takes a vow to satisfy Lord Shiva or who follows such principles will certainly become an atheist and be diverted from transcendental scriptural injunctions. Purport. It is sometimes seen that devotees of Lord Shiva imitate the characteristics of Lord Shiva. For example, Lord Shiva drank an ocean of poison. Jai Shri Shri Gaur Nitai Shri Shri Radha Madan Mohan Shri Shri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Mai ki jai. So some of the followers of Lord Shiva imitate him and try to take intoxicants like gāñjā, marijuana. Here the curse is that if someone follows such principles, he must become an infidel and turn against the principles of Vedic regulation. It is said that such devotees of Lord Shiva will be sac-chāstra-paripanthinaḥ, which means opposed to the conclusion of Shastra or scripture. This is confirmed in the Padma Purāṇa also. Lord Shiva was ordered by the Supreme Personality of Godhead to preach the impersonal or Māyāvāda philosophy for a particular purpose, just as Lord Buddha preached the philosophy of voidness for particular purposes mentioned in the Shastras. Sometimes it is necessary to preach a philosophical doctrine which is against the Vedic conclusion. In the Shiva Purāṇa, it is stated that Lord Shiva said to Parvati that in the Kali Yuga, in the body of a Brahmana, he would preach the Māyāvāda philosophy. Thus it is generally found that the worshippers of Lord Shiva are Māyāvādi followers. Lord Shiva himself says, Māyāvādam asat-śāstram. Asat-śāstra, as explained here, means the doctrine of Māyāvāda impersonalism or becoming one with the Supreme. Brahmani cursed that persons who worship Lord Shiva would become followers of this Māyāvāda asat-śāstra, which attempts to establish that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is impersonal. Besides that, among the worshippers of Lord Shiva, there is a section who live a devilish life. Srimad Bhagavatam and Narada Pancharatra are authorized scriptures that are considered sat-śāstra or scriptures which lead one to the path of God realization. Asat-śāstras are just the opposite. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Mena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Mena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrachatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parichana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Namaum Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paśaṭadeshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gauratsve Namaha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Shri Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhano Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpa Tarobhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Mukam kiroti vachalam Pangullangayate girim Yat kripaha tamaham bande Shri Gurun Dinatarinam. Hare Krishna. So before I start, I seek the blessings of His Grace Anand Mahaprabhu and all the assembled Vaishnavas, so that I can glorify Srimad Bhagavatam for the purification of my heart. So here, in this particular section of Srimad Bhagavatam, we are seeing how Daksha Prajapati, he cursed Lord Shiva because he felt that he was not respected, and then Nandi, he cursed Daksha and all the Brahmanas, and then now we are seeing how Bhrugumani is cursing the followers of Lord Shiva. So last time we were discussing how Prabhupada is mentioning that in an atmosphere which is filled with anger, then everybody who is not transcended the three modes, they get affected. So here Bhrugumani, he is cursing the followers of Lord Shiva. So in that one lesson, when especially we can see when there is some heated argument, generally every situation is very tense. In the sense, people either they want to be go away from that, or in case if somebody enters that situation, then they also may get influenced. But actually, to maintain one's proper attitude in such situations is very, very tough. So, but Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given the golden principles, the golden avatar has given the golden principle of Trinadapi Sunichena Tarorapi Sahisnuna Amanina Manadena Kirtaniya Sadahari. So this golden principle will help us to transcend the three modes of material nature. Otherwise, the age of Kali Yuga is the age of quarrel and hypocrisy. So when two people come together, there is always a chance of quarrel, misunderstanding. And when there is someone is alone, there is chance of hypocrisy. So that is always there. But especially devotees, we have to transcend this age of quarrel and hypocrisy by following this principle of Trinadapi Sunichena. If we don't remember this golden principle, then very much we may fall trap. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu mentions that this particular principle of Trinadapi Sunichena, one should wear it as an ornament around his neck, right? So this particular verse is considered as a secret necklace. Generally, people wear necklace to attract others, right? There is jewelry, diamonds and everything. So, but a devotee actually attracts others by his qualities, right? Titikshva karunika surudha sarvadena Ajata Shatrava Shanta Sadhava Sadhubhushana. So when he has these qualities of a sadhu, tolerance, humility, uh, right, all these qualities, he has no enemies. All these qualities are actually attract the Supreme Lord. Not only that, we sing in the song of Shad Goswami Ashtakam, Dhira Adhira Janapriya. So the Goswamis, they were dear to everyone, both the Dhiras and the Adhiras also. So these qualities only can help us to transcend these three modes. Otherwise, it is very, very difficult. We also get affected by the situations around us. So in this particular situation, here Srila Prabhupada is mentioning in the Purport, as Bhrugumani is mentioning that the followers of Lord Śiva, they will become an atheist and will be diverted from the transcendental scriptural injunctions. So Prabhupada is mentioning initially that the followers of Lord Śiva, sometimes they try to imitate the characteristics of Lord Śiva. Like Lord Śiva drank the poison, that famous pastime, because of which he is known as Nilakanta. He stored that poison in his neck. So now, but the followers of Lord Śiva, so they try to imitate him by taking intoxicants like gāñjā. So Prabhupada used to say that in the name of Lord Śiva, they are only trying to enjoy themselves. If only they want to imitate, they should drink poison like Lord Śiva. So many times Prabhupada used to say this imitation is very, very dangerous. Like some people, they try to imitate Lord Krishna. Okay, Lord Krishna did rasa dance. So because he did, I will also do. Why he only has to enjoy with the gopis? I also can dance and enjoy with different girls. So that imitation tendency is very, very strong. So actually we can follow, we can take inspiration from a person, in the sense in a positive way, but not in these things. Prabhupada said that, okay, if you say you want to dance with the gopis, if you want to imitate Krishna, then you also should imitate other activities. Krishna lifted the Govardhan hill with the little finger of his left hand, right? So you also should do that. Or Krishna showed the universal form, right? Or Krishna showed the whole universe in his mouth, right? So if you want to imitate, then imitate all the activities. Why only some, right? That means the living entity has a tendency to imitate those activities where he gets sense gratification. He wants to only imitate those activities, but other activities, no. So also, unfortunately, people they don't have proper understanding of Krishna, that he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and we cannot imitate his activities. So even when Krishna was personally present, some people like Pondrak, how he tried to imitate his activities. He said to Krishna, actually that Shankha Chakra belongs to me. You should give it away to me. And that Sudarshan actually belongs to me. Like that. So he was blaspheming Krishna. So then Krishna personally killed, right? So even in Kali Yuga, we have so many Pondrakas, right? So many Kalki avatars, so many so-called Krishnas, Vishnus, so many. Every now and then such people come. So once one person claimed himself to be Krishna. So then one devotee challenged him that, okay, if you are Krishna, then show your universal form. If you show your universal form to all of us, then surely we will accept. Can you show? And that person said, yeah, tomorrow I will show. You can come. So then the devotee went So then that person was asked, okay, now you can show your universal form. Then that so-called avatar said, today the weather is not good. When weather is good, I will show my universal form. So Krishna, it's not that when weather is good, then only he showed universal form, right? He can turn the weather upside down, in the sense he can completely change the weather. It's not that when everything is well, then only Krishna showed, right? So like this foolish living entities, they try to imitate the Lord, but they can never. Uh, so how can the tiny living entity be the Supreme Lord? Sometimes the Māyāvādis, they also claim themselves to be God. So once one devotee was, one person was arguing with one devotee regarding that, I am only God, I am the Supreme, like that. So after some discussion, that person was getting nature call. So he said, okay, I'll just come. Then devotee caught his hand. He said, if you are Supreme Lord, you should be able to control the nature calls. Right? The nature should be under your call, not. You should be able to control nature, not that nature controls you. Krishna says, Maya Dakshena Prakriti, not that Prakriti Adyaksha, Lord, no, not like that. So then finally he pleaded that, okay, please, I'm not supreme, kindly forgive me. So then finally he was allowed to go. Then after coming back, he said, the devotee asked, okay, now at least do you accept? He said, that was all my leela. So people are like this. They foolishly try to imitate the Supreme Lord, uh, although they are so tiny, insignificant. So Prabhupada was very, very heavy against all this imitation. Even in ISKCON, at one point of time, 4 sannyasis, they had a wrong understanding. They started telling that Srila Prabhupada is supreme. How can no, a ordinary person do all these things? That means he is not ordinary person. He is the supreme. So they started spreading the wrong philosophy. Prabhupada was very, very angry, and he, for some time sent them out of ISKCON. Right? Even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in the mood of a devotee, he never accepted that he is the supreme. Right? So whenever devotees used to call him as supreme, he used to immediately close his ears and say Vishnu, Vishnu. Right? So that is the standard. So unfortunately, the Sahajiyas, they try to imitate. Even there is a pastime of Haridas Thakur. Once when he heard the snake charmer playing that, so that time he went to ecstasy thinking of the pastimes of Krishna and Kaliya. So he exhibited all the ecstatic symptoms, and everybody there was stunned to see those ecstatic symptoms, and they appreciated. So one person who saw that, he thought, oh, if only I also do something like this, then maybe I will also get lot of appreciation. So then one day he started also exhibiting some, when the snake charmer was playing, he also started imitating Haridas Thakur. But the snake charmer, he knew who is real and who is imitation. So he started beating him left and right. So even Prabhupada, I think in Vrindavan, there was one Sahajiya who came and he was trying to show some ecstatic symptoms, rolling on the ground. So some disciples went to Prabhupada and said, Prabhupada, it seems a pure devotee has come. He is exhibiting all ecstatic symptoms here. So Prabhupada said, no, you kick him. In case he is he is a great soul, then he will not mind. Otherwise, he will go away. So unfortunately, this is the age of imitation. So even we, as conditioned souls, we came to this material world because we want to imitate Krishna, right? It's not that that tendency is not there in us. That same imitating tendency is there strongly within us also. So why we came to this material world? We thought, oh, why only Krishna has to enjoy? Why everyone has to serve him only? All gopis, he only dances. What about me? What about my enjoyment? Can't I enjoy? Only Krishna? No. I also want to enjoy. So when this strong enjoying tendency is there, then we are sent to this material world. So in the conditioned state of consciousness, we see this controlling mentality, this enjoying mentality is very, very strong. So whenever we have this mentality, we should understand that we are also trying to imitate Krishna, right? That's all. We are trying to take the position of Krishna. Why Krishna has to be controller? Why he has to enjoy? I will enjoy. I will control. Why only he has to, right? So that strong tendency is there in all of us. So that's why we should understand that we should give up this strong tendencies in us. Then only we'll be able to serve Krishna properly. Even as devotees, this tendency may be very, very strong. It can manifest in different ways. So whenever we have that, we should remember that we are also little pondrakas who are proud, proud of one's own abilities. So we should give up that. So in the next part of the, we need to actually follow the Vedas, and that Supreme Lord is impersonal, is not a person. So he especially came to preach this particular philosophy. And as it is mentioned in Shiva Purāṇa, Lord Śiva personally tells to Mother Parvati that how in Kali Yuga he comes in the form of a Brahmana to preach this Māyāvāda philosophy. So Lord Śiva himself says Māyāvādam asat-śāstram. So that Prabhupada is mentioning the Māyāvāda doctrine of Māyāvāda impersonalism. This is asat-śāstra. This is against the real Shastras. So here Bhrigu cursed those persons who are worshipping Lord Śiva, who would become the followers of Māyāvāda asat-śāstra. So Prabhupada is saying at the end that Srimad Bhagavatam and Narada Panchadatra are authorized scriptures that are considered sat-śāstra. So we are very fortunate that Srila Prabhupada, he has given us the sat-śāstra by which we will not get distracted. Once His Holiness Devamrit Swami Maharaj, he was in Jagannath Puri, and he was watching the commentary of Jagannath Ratha Yatra. So in the television. So when he saw that, he was shocked, because he saw that people were telling all nonsense. They were telling that Lord Jagannath is Shiva, and Subhadra is Shakti, and so many, although directly the Supreme Lord Krishna, Balram, and their sister is present, but so many interpretations right in Jagannath Puri itself. There, when you go to Ratha Yatra, we can see so many Sahajiyas, so many groups. They are having their own dances and different dresses, right? So right in Jagannath Puri itself, there are so many, what we call Asat Sampradayas, right? So Srila Prabhupada, then Devamrit Swami Maharaj was glorifying Srila Prabhupada, that by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, we exactly know who is Jagannath, who is Baladev, who is Subhadra. So he was telling how much should we be grateful, right? So also, this being the book distribution marathon, I thought of discussing something from Srimad Bhagavatam, as Prabhupada is mentioning. This is the sat-śāstra. So especially regarding book distribution, many of the book distributors, they quote this verse, because this verse actually glorifies Srila Prabhupada and his contribution. 1.5.11 Tadvag visargo janataga viplavo yasmin pratishlokam abhaddavatapi namani anantasya yasho ankitani yat shrinvanti gayanti grananti sadhava. Translation: on the other hand, that literature which is full of descriptions of the transcendental glories of the name, pastimes, etc., of the unlimited Supreme Lord is a different creation, full of transcendental words directed toward bringing about a revolution in the impious lives of this world's misdirected civilization. Such translations, even though imperfectly composed, are heard, sung, and accepted by purified men who are thoroughly honest. So Prabhupada, very amazing purport here, mentions how actually Srimad Bhagavatam actually is the solution for all the problems. So I'll just read some part of the purport. So Prabhupada mentions that a saint is always absorbed in glorifying the Supreme Lord, because by broadcasting the holy name and fame of the Supreme Lord, the polluted atmosphere of the world will change, and as a result of propagating the transcendental literatures like Srimad Bhagavatam, people will become sane in their transactions. Many times Prabhupada talks of polluted atmosphere. So this polluted atmosphere doesn't mean air pollution, water pollution. That is also there. But the real polluted atmosphere is the pollution of the heart, right? The internal pollution is causing all the external pollution in the society. And the lust, greed, anger of the heart gets manifested in so many ugly ways, murders, rapes, and so many things which happen, scandals, right? So that polluted atmosphere is because of the heart, the dirty things in the heart. So Srimad Bhagavatam gives the solution for all these problems. So when we say in the translation that these literatures bring a revolution in the misdirected civilization, in the impious lives of the misdirected civilization. So we see when Srila Prabhupada went to Russia, he went to meet that Professor Kotesky along with Shyam Sundar Prabhu. But that professor said he will arrange some program, but unfortunately he could not arrange. And Shyam Sundar Prabhu, he carried one Bhagavad Gita, right, which his wife's Malati kept in his suitcase, and by Krishna's mercy, it crossed through all the whatever police and all, and it generally the communist countries, they would not allow any literature inside their country, but that Bhagavad Gita came. So when Shyam Sundar Prabhu met one Russian boy and Indian boy who had some interest, so he brought them to Srila Prabhupada, and Srila Prabhupada saw that spark in Ananta Shanti Prabhu, that this boy is very interested. So continuously Srila Prabhupada spoke Krishna conscious philosophy for 2-3 days, because Prabhupada knew that once he leaves Russia, he may never be able to come again, because it is very difficult to enter. And Prabhupada spoke the entire gist of Krishna consciousness, and he gave him that Bhagavad Gita. And he said, now you study this, understand this, and print, translate it in Russian language, and print and distribute it. And that one devotee, Anand Shanti Prabhu, how seriously he took Krishna consciousness, right? So he himself practiced, and also he translated it, and he distributed that Bhagavad Gita. So that one Bhagavad Gita now transformed millions of people in the communist countries. Now at least there are more than 1 lakh devotees chanting 16 rounds in Russia. So, so that one Bhagavad Gita could change so many people, right? So that is one example for bringing revolution in the hearts of people. There are so many examples. We can go on and on and on, tell so many examples, so many stories. The book distribution stories are very, very famous, right? So Prabhupada here mentions one very, very important thing about Indians especially. So Prabhupada mentions there is a great need for disseminating the message of Srimad Bhagavatam all over the world. Before that, Prabhupada mentions systematically there is a propaganda by a section of people to stop glorification of the name and fame of the Lord. It is the duty of every responsible Indian to broadcast the transcendental message of Srimad Bhagavatam throughout the world, to do all the supermost good, as well as to bring about the desired peace in the world. Because India has failed in her duty by neglecting this responsible work, there is so much quarrel and trouble all over the world. We are confident that if the transcendental message of Srimad Bhagavatam is received only by the leading men of the world, certainly there will be a change of heart, and naturally the people in general will follow them. So, why Prabhupada especially is emphasizing here Indians? Is it something bodily consciousness? No, Prabhupada is not bodily consciousness, but the Indians have that special prerogative. Human beings have, but even in human beings, especially the Indians, they are fortunate because they have taken birth in India, right? That's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also mentioned, Bharata Bhumite Hoile Janma Yar, Janma Sarthakari Kara Paropkar. So they have to make their own lives, perfect, and also help others. So Indians, right from birth, they get to hear Bhagavad Gita, Krishna, Ram, everything, right? So there is good chance for them to take up this Krishna consciousness easily, whereas other countries it is difficult, right? So Srila Prabhupada many times used to say that I am one Indian, one old man in 70 years of age. I could do so much, right? So if all of you take this process seriously, then how much can you do? So Srila Prabhupada used to urge all his disciples, all the Indians, especially if you see Prabhupada lectures in India, always he used to quote this, what is the responsibility of Indians, right? So Prabhupada here especially is mentioning that is the duty of the Indians to spread this Krishna consciousness, not just in India, all over the world. So at least we can start with India and especially in Hyderabad. So Srila Prabhupada has given us this golden opportunity to practice and also share. When Prabhupada was asked, what is the best way we can reciprocate with all the love and care you gave, Prabhupada said, you just share what you received with others. So this is the best way we can reciprocate with Srila Prabhupada. So Srila Prabhupada Book Distribution Marathon gives us a wonderful opportunity to reciprocate more and more with the mercy which we are receiving. So we should actually contemplate on what we are receiving and how much Prabhupada sacrificed for us. Then we will also develop that desire that okay, let me also reciprocate. I received so much. So we'll end here. Thank you very much. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Samaveta